Welcome to the Social University Podcast. We are so glad you're joining us today because we want to help business owners, entrepreneurs, and people just like you who want to build their business online. Listen, if we can do it, you can do it. So let's go.
Good morning. I'm Karen Taradis with Social U, and it is time for What's Up Wednesday, where we come to you live every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Central to talk about social media tips, tricks, and trends. All this month, we have been discussing things we love, local businesses we love, apps we love. This week, we're going to talk about websites to love and things, elements of your website that you need to have for a successful website. And as always, I'm going to give you a list and some information, some background information. So let's go ahead and get started. First and foremost, and again, I know it's not realistic for you to do this once a month, but you do need to do it maybe once a year. Ideally, twice a year would be great, but once a year, you do need to check your website and make sure it has all the elements that it needs to be successful. So let me go ahead and get started. First, you want to check your domain name and your hosting plan. If you do not love your host, if you do not love your hosting plan, if you are getting charged an hour to make a 5-minute edit, if it takes you 2 weeks to get an edit done, I highly recommend you update your host. And the webmaster we use, we love. I refer him for every single client that we have. He is amazing. It's WP Site Mason. His name is Ben, but he hosts all of our clients' websites. He's quick to do edits. He doesn't just charge you randomly. And the hosting you pay monthly includes all of your edits, which I think is amazing. Make sure that your domain, when you're checking your domain name, make sure it's your name. A lot of times when you are hosting with a company, the company will put it in their name and give you access. You are the owner. It's your business. It's your URL. You should own the domain. So verify that. Again, Ben is great to work with, and that's something he makes sure of, that the actual business owner owns the URL, owns the domain. Next thing, I am still seeing people that do not have their SSL. If you are not aware of what that is, SSL is a certificate that you install to make sure that your site is secure. And you may be telling yourself as a small business owner, there's no need for me to have that. I don't have anything really that needs to be secured. I just have emails. I'm not taking any money, so it's not a big deal for me. It is a big deal because Google is refusing to allow access to websites that do not have that certificate. It's a very small edit. It should cost you less than $100 to buy the certificate and have it installed by your webmaster. If it costs more than that, you should change webmasters. I have a good one. But if you go to a website now, if I type in a website that doesn't have its certificate, its SSL, then Google will just say it's a dangerous website and they won't allow access. Now, sometimes you can force it to go through, but the longer it goes without having that information, the less likely they are to let you see it, and the more likely they are to block it. So if you do not have that, that is something you absolutely need to secure. Even if you're not taking money, nobody wants to submit their email to a non-secure website. Nobody wants to be hacked. Trust me, we've been dealing with all kinds of hackers lately. So make sure that everything on your website is actually secure. Okay, number 3, test it on all browsers. What do I mean by that? I mean, make sure your website looks good on a mobile device, as good as it looks on a desktop. Sometimes you'll have a minor issue. I was looking at a website last night, beautiful website, extremely functional, but one of the letters went underneath the rest of the word. So it didn't look exactly right. Minor edit, but the owner probably doesn't know that because they haven't checked the website in a while online. So make sure that you're checking it on your laptop and your desktop. Number 4, you want to check all the links. All of the links that you have on the bottom, those links that take you to Facebook or Pinterest or Twitter, any social media links associated with your business, click through and make sure they're taking the person to the right page. A lot of times it'll go just randomly to the homepage of Facebook or the homepage of LinkedIn. Make sure it's going to the page you want it to go to. As a small business owner, if you're on LinkedIn and you have a profile and you don't have a business page, make sure it's going to your profile. But check them and make sure that they're correct. And if you have Google Plus on there, get rid of it. Come on, Google Plus is over. And if you have added TikTok to your list of options, make sure it's offered on the bottom of the website. Number 5, you want to update and check your contact info and make sure it's correct. That means, like for us, we've been at war with Google for almost 2 years about verifying our address. So I have to make sure it's correct on the website. So people are actually looking for me, they can find me, because Google refuses to acknowledge that we've moved. It's crazy. And yes, we have been arguing with them for quite a while, but we'll get it. 2023 is my year. I can feel it. Make sure your contact info is correct. It could be something as simple as 2 transposed numbers, or maybe you forgot to include an email, or maybe you forgot to include a phone number and you just have the other. Make sure you give your clients multiple options to be able to contact you. The next thing you want to do, number 5 is, 6, test your functionality. If you have a contact form, if you have a hook, whatever it is, check it and make sure that the person is getting what you say they're getting and you're getting what you need to be getting. So if you have a contact form, go in there and do a test, fill it out, make sure that the person who submits it is getting a thank you or confirmation email, and make sure that that information is actually going to your inbox and not going to spam or not going to the wrong email address. I know stuff like that happens. You don't want to lose the opportunity for a sale or a new potential client just because your forms go into the wrong location. Plus, it makes you look not necessarily sloppy, but it makes you look unorganized and like you're ignoring them or not following up. You don't want to come across as either unorganized or inconsiderate. So make sure it's going where it needs to be going. Okay, number 7, proofread it. Yes, the whole thing. Proofread the entire website. I'm one of those folks that once I've read something a couple of times, I can stop checking for functionality, for grammatical. I just don't see it anymore. So run it through Grammarly if you have to. Get one of your trade off with another vendor where you check theirs and they check yours and you come back together with notes. Or ask an employee to do it, but get someone who's not you to proofread that website to make sure that the information makes sense and it's consistent and it's grammatically correct and all of the information is there. Again, after you've been working on something like this for a little while, a lot of times you miss the mistakes. So if you are not, super prone to be able to check that kind of stuff, or you're going to miss it, get someone to help you, but definitely proofread the whole thing. You will find after you've been in business for a minute, oh yeah, we don't do that anymore, or we've edited that service, or I can edit this content so that it makes better sense to my end user. But yes, definitely proofread the whole thing. And that brings us to number 8, review pricing. I'm a firm believer, and you should mention something about pricing on your website. And I get a lot of pushback about this because some small business owners don't want to list their prices. They don't want the whole world to know. Well, why not? You're going to tell them if they call you what your price is. It's not really a secret. You're publicly serving business. They're going to find out. Plus, if their budget is $50 and your packages start at $1,000, you're wasting their time and your time to force them to make an inquiry if you're totally out of their price range. So by at least listing a starting point, our services start at this and they go to this, or services are starting at, let's say, $1,000. And they know it's out of their price range, you're saving your own time and energy by letting them know how much you charge ahead of time, which is why I think you should at least have a starting point on pricing. Number 9, review consistency. Make sure that it's the same information everywhere. And again, this happens. You may update your services offered page and forget about the home page, or you may update your home page and forget about the services offered page, but make sure that the information is the same on every single page of the website. Number 10, you want to do a content audit. This goes beyond proofreading and just your basic, make sure your information's right. You want to make sure everything is checking. Are your images in your blog the right size? When you pull up the blog, are they showing at the right size? Is anything distorted? Do you have any issues with, what's a good example? Just your content in general. You want to make sure that everything you have is absolutely 100% correct. And really and truly, the only way to do that is, of course, to read everything. But you also want to check some of your technical stuff to make sure that what you're including is actually what you're offering. And check your pictures. Nobody is online searching. Nobody Googles for, image 28713. They Google images for wedding rehearsals or bridesmaids luncheons or bridesmaids dresses. And if you're naming your pictures, if you're not naming your pictures, you're really missing an opportunity to optimize for search engine optimization, because Google doesn't understand ping or image IMG 28765. It looks for whatever your picture is named. So if you are blogging, and of course you're blogging because you need to be doing that for your business, make sure you're naming your pictures correctly so that they will pop up in a search on Google. And they will pop up in a search on Google if they are named correctly. Okay, number 11. And this is by far the most important one. If you do not get anything else from this, take this away. When people go to your website, do they instantly understand what you do? If they do not, it is time to update your information. And what I mean by that, there are a lot of businesses it's very clear to them because they know the answer. Isn't that the way it is? But if you do a random poll, if you ask random other business owners or random friends, take a look at this website and tell me what you think what does this person sell? It can be more confusing than you think it is. And if you're not a StoryBrand by Donald Miller fan, I highly recommend you check out his blog and his book. He talks about if you confuse, you lose. If people don't understand what you do immediately, they're going to bounce. So it's critically important for your message to be very concise and clear on the homepage. You cannot have this arbitrary terminology, out of the box, cutting edge, new technology, up to the minute. It makes no sense. You could be anything from an accountant to, a business coach. You could be any kind of consultant. You could be an insurance salesman. You could be a car salesman or a real estate agent with very vague language. You need to tell people exactly what you do instantly. So when they open up that website, they have no doubt in their mind what your business and what your services are because they see it immediately. Again, if that's confusing to you, check out StoryBrand by Donald Miller because he has an excellent step-by-step program that will take you through how to do that for your business. If you need help with that, I have a wonderful, wonderful vendor that we work with that can actually go through and perform that process for your company and help you StoryBrand so that your message is clear and concise. Number 12, update your news. And if you have not added a blog, add a blog. I think it's very frustrating if you have, and I see this all the time. You have, hold on, we have a question from Becky. Website, I help businesses. Me. Can you be more specific? She's 100% right. You might help businesses in any number of ways. You might help businesses grow or analyze, consult, review. You might be a personal trainer. You could be any one of a number of things. Be as specific as possible. You help businesses to do what? Seriously, be as clear as you can. Thanks, Becky, for that. Okay, going back to your news. I get really frustrated when I go to a website and you have the about page and services page and the news page, and you check the news page and it hasn't been updated since 2021. Frustrating. So if that's the case and you do not have any new news about your business, maybe hide that tab until you have new news, or even better, generate a blog so that you can create some of your own news. And if you are not blogging, you are missing a huge opportunity to get your information the way you want it presented out on Google for the whole world to see. The magic number is 50. So once you hit 50 blogs, it's going to be a lot easier to search your content. And if you're not sure about where to get started, or if you haven't blogged in a while, just start back. If you want to know what people are searching for on Google so you can really pick topics that are relevant to your industry, check out answerthepublic.com, type in a couple of keywords about your industry, and it will literally show you every single question people are asking Google about about whatever your industry is, so you'll know where to start on blog topics because that's what people are looking for, and it can really help you long term. Okie doke. Number 13, review your analytics. If you see that you're getting a ton of traffic from Facebook, you may need to spend some more time on Facebook. If you see that people are coming to your website and they're bouncing in less than a minute, something's wrong with the homepage. Those analytics can tell you where people are coming from, why they how they got there, like what terminology they're searching to get to you and what the referral site is. So, and I find this all the time. Some business owners will think, oh, I'm getting all this engagement from Facebook, and really and truly their biggest referral source might be Pinterest, where they're not spending any time. Check those analytics to see if it's working for you. And if you have an awesome webmaster, they can customize a dashboard for Google Analytics and send it up so it's automated and you're getting that report once a month without you having to constantly reach out to them and touch them. I'm telling you what, having the right webmaster really, really helps. Number 14, verify your call to action. Make sure that you have a great hook. I have a ton of free content, but right now at the beginning of the year, people are most interested in scheduling content calendars, getting information together for the rest of their year. So if you go to our homepage today, there is a link to download our free template for our content calendar, which I'm very proud of. It has a bunch of themes for the month. It has days, important holidays, some unusual holidays for you to use on your Instagram account. It also includes a 2-week rotation suggestion so that you don't have to create all that stuff by yourself, and it's totally free. Now, before the January, it was a Facebook audit list. So it is okay to update that periodically so that you are offering what people are actually needing in that moment. But if you don't offer anything on your website, again, you're missing a huge opportunity because people don't, it's like, again, this is a Donald Miller thing. Only 2% of people will purchase the first time they go to the website. So you want to make sure that you're getting their information when they go to the website so you can market to them later. And the only way to do that is to have a really awesome offer. If you don't have a great offer, or if you don't offer anything at all, why would they just give you their email? I am never going to just sign up for a newsletter. Why would I do that? You want to offer them something like, here's this cool download, or here's this infographic, or get the stats for this, or here's a template or a quiz, or a video that you can use that will show you how to make your own infographic or quiz. Whatever it is that you're sharing, make sure you're sharing something that's good enough that the end user will want to share their email with you. Number 14, that was number 14, verify your call to action. Number 15, our last one, ask for feedback. Get people you know who will be honest with you to tell you what they think about your website. I say this frequently. Nobody wants to hear that their baby is ugly. No business owner wants you to tell them, ugh, this website is the worst, or it's confusing, or I don't understand what you do, or this contact form doesn't work. But you need someone who's going to shoot straight with you, who will tell you what is broken so that you can fix it. And think about the long-term ramifications. I would much rather hear the problems, the issues right now than to lose a client 2 weeks from now because I didn't correct the issue. Now, if you want to see examples of some really amazing websites that have everything that I'm talking about, have the hook, have great contact information, are branded, are clean and easy to see and easy to understand, I'm going to include a link in the comments to WP Site Mason. That is the webmaster we work with, Ben. He has on the bottom of his homepage at least 8 different beautiful examples of websites that are functional, that are attractive, that are clean and completely optimized for SEO. So if you are looking for a great example, he has some great examples. Our website is set up StoryBrand style. I do think it's time for us to update some of the images on our website. So I would much rather have you see some of the newer websites that are available out there and check out some of Ben's work. It's really, really good stuff. You guys, it's the end of the month already. How did that happen? It was so fast. Next month I cannot believe it is already March. We will have a schedule for all of the content topics ready by the end of this week, I hope, so that we can go ahead and announce that so you know what to expect for next month. And until then, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. You can leave a comment. You can send us a direct message. You can go to our website and schedule a phone call, whatever works best for you. Pretty accessible. But until next week, I am Karen Taradas with Social U, and I'm here to help. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us for the Social University podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media at Stay Social U. That's the letter U, and we will talk to you next week. Remember, you've got this.